This man's even got the fucking fuzz. He's even got the fuzz. That's so great. Oh my god. You need to if you had this TV full frame and they got rid of the knobs and that's where you put chat. I just didn't see it full screen. Yeah, but, like, you really don't see it, like, until dude, I love everything about this, but, like, if we're watching mobile, you ain't seeing us. That's true. Yeah. You're muted on your stream? Yeah, you are. Thank you, chat.
How we doing now? Oh, we're golden now, boys. We're golden now. Can't hear Chase. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for letting me know. We can't hear Steve. Thanks, guys. All right, we were working out some sound issues for a second. Rookie mistake. Yeah, I switched stuff over and it's acting weird. I don't know what you want me to say, bro.
Rookie mistake. Dude, I just
So
had
here we
audio
are.
issues today.
Now here's the question: did Discord get the notification? Let's see. Announcement. No, it did not.
Thank
Did I
you,
turn
Aura.
them off? That's annoying. That MeBot, right? MeBot should be doing that. Let's check that real quick.
Caesar's Dad Club Gaming is going to be affiliated.
I'm not accepting it, bro. I'm not
Really?
accepting it. No, because why would I, right? Then I have to like abide by all these different things. Like if I want to play music on the stream or something like that, and
You
just
can't still.
all right, well, whatever, bro. Whatever. Oh, sorry. I can't stream to Facebook at the same time. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, if
If I
you're
don't become
affiliated.
affiliated, I can stream to Facebook.
But
And
now
that's,
Facebook doesn't have that rule.
I understand. So if we want to sign up for Facebook side of it, we'll do that. You know.
Yeah, 14 days, no average viewers, 100 followers, and you're good.
So I'm a little confused why my I have like it's supposed to send out a
I'm Amazon
notification.
shopping right now. This is horrific. I should not be doing this.
What? You're fine. I'm getting set up.
No, I'm buying my
Oh.
wife a mic, and I
Oh,
did
nice.
some extra graphics today while the kids were sleeping, so I kind of got the money to buy it.
Junior when someone follows the channel. No. All right. So this is up and running. For whatever reason, it didn't send out the notification to my Discord server. Did it not
So do you have
recognize that I'm live
multi-chat
yet?
on? Do you have
Yes.
multi-chat on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got one from Facebook. I got one from Twitch. It's showing it right now. The 5 W's: Wyoming,
Can you
Washington,
send me a
Waffles,
link
women,
to your
and
chat?
weightlifter.
Can you send me a link to your multi-chat?
Can you do that?
Yeah. Go to your chat box, hit properties, copy the link, and send it to me.
Chat box. Source? No.
Oh, wait, are you doing it within Streamlabs?
Within Streamlabs.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay. You can pull it up on Facebook too, right?
Yeah, that's what I just did.
Or you can see it just like in the channel.
Yeah, I have your dad club up too, so.
IG. So I am a little confused why the Discord announcement didn't go. There it is. It just went. There we are. All right. So everybody's getting it, and we'll see if people join. But let's kind of jump into it, right? I said I wanted to do this for like an hour or two, but we'll play it by ear. You know, if it's early, if it's late, whatever it takes. So I didn't really tell you much, right? I didn't tell you much of what this is or what I was thinking.
None.
What up, Ethan? How's it going? Tim? What's up, guys? So I'm calling this building character, right? I did tell you that. You probably just don't remember. So we're gonna have a guest, different guest every week. You and I.
Yep, I remember that.
You know, you and I will grill them, wherever we want to take out on them, or maybe they can bring it. First, you know, so let's before we get into that, I have the 5 W's as episode 1. So, do you know what the 5 W's are?
No, inform me. Inform the
all right.
chats.
All right, so the 5 W's. First W is who. So we'll go through the who. You know, who's on the podcast, who they are. So for right now, we'll jump right into the current guest, which is you and I, the co-host. But in the coming weeks, we'll get into who's going to be on it. Second one is what. So what is this going to be? What are we going to tackle in this kind of podcast, and where is it going to go from there? Then we have the where, the when, and the why. So that's this episode. We'll cover. It's more of like an informative for people who are going to want to be our future hosts.
Yeah, it's like the prelude.
Exactly. So we're just going to set it up so we can know what this is going to be and set up expectations for people who want to sign up to be a guest. So who, what, when, where, who, what, where, when, and why, right?
Who, what, when, where, and why.
When, where. So we'll do when, and then we'll do where. All right.
That's it, right?
So what's the? Yeah, I think you're right.
Is that the proper way to say it?
Who,
Chet?
what, when, where, why?
Yeah, that is the right. Okay. So like, is there a requirement of this to drink? Because I will.
If you want, I don't care. I mean, I grabbed myself a beer just to.
I got Dr. Thunder.
That works too. I mean, I'm still going, into 2021 without soda so far. I haven't had any all 2020. So.
Oh, like beer's any better?
Let's get into that. No, we'll talk about it. We'll get into the who.
Okay.
We'll get into the who. So let's start with the who, right? There's no requirement to drink because okay, so let's get into the who. So, Chris, why don't you take it first?
Okay,
Give us the who, just brief, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper after we go back and forth.
All right, so I am Chris Miller. Like, that's my actual name for the people that don't know me, other than Black.
My phone is Chris Blackhack.
I'm just a normal dude. Went full-time streamer during the pandemic and never looked back. That's pretty much it.
I'll ask some more questions. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And then I'm Chase Roman, real name. Since we're on Facebook, that's what it'll come up as. On Twitch, Caesar RE, only because Caesar was taken. For the Roman Empire, you can see behind, so that's what the RE is for, and that's what we just run it with it. This man over here sold himself short. He didn't say anything about the graphics he makes. Primarily free, by the way, and he's
correct.
He's kind of just moving into the paid for off-stream purposes, and rightfully so, because he does great work. I shouldn't even say good at this point. Check it out. You should check it out over on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere he posts to. Except in TikTok, you should probably delete that so you're not on there ever, You just rot your brain.
That's where the majority of my people
I know it is. That's because that's where most people are these days.
Yeah, true.
So let's jump in a little bit. I'll ask a little bit more about the who. Because that's just like the major overview. Oh, I'm part-time. I'm not a full-time streamer like my man Chris over here.
I love it, dude. Okay, so Chase, I seen a tweet from you earlier today.
You're not the hold on. You're not the only viewer, Adam. Adam, you're not the only viewer. They're just on Twitch as well. We're doing a podcast though. Go ahead.
I seen you make a tweet today and you put in quotes part-time.
Yeah, I know.
And I am positive that come from me.
I mean, it's just like in the grand scheme of things, like when you talk about part-time, like how much effort do you put into a part-time thing, right? And
I had a full spiel on that.
I need proof. Go to the Twitch page. I don't know. So you gotta check it out on both sides. That's the problem, right? It's like if you're thinking about it when you're not doing it, that's not a part-time thing, right?
Yeah. No, I get it. I perfectly described this the other day.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like it is what it is. It is a part-time for a part-timer. I put in a lot of effort into what I'm doing just because for me it's been a nice hobby, right? It's been neat to play video games just in general, but then take it to that other level of bringing people in and playing with people and meeting people that I would have never met, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have met people across this country. Wouldn't have met people, shit, 15, 20 years younger than me. 15, 20 years older. What's up, Miranda?
All right, you guys say hi to the Dadcast here. I
Yes.
forget the real name, but I call it the Dadcast.
Building character. I already told you this
All
episode.
right, say hi. It's Chase.
Hello.
Here, come on, he's saying hi.
Hello.
Oh, ow. No, she wants nothing to do with this.
So
You can
go.
say hi.
Hi.
So go
There you
ahead.
go.
So go ahead into the who there. You know what I mean? Like take it from there.
So like this is my wonderful wife. And I have 2 kids. We met each other a long time ago, probably about 5.5-ish years ago now. Man, 5 years, 2 months, and 5 years, 1 month, and we just it was hilarious how I met her. So like I was over at my buddy's, and I was divorced as of like a year and a half, and I had been drinking like constantly through like that whole single phase. And I met my wife at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, drinking a tall boy over at my buddy's house. And she comes walking down the stairs, and everyone's waking up because I'm waking everyone up. And she comes down the stairs, and I look at my buddy, and I'm like, if you don't tie that down, I'm going to. And my daughter was conceived that night. And we've been together ever since. And
And
it's
that's how the
it's
story
been
goes.
it's been a roller coaster, and it's been great, man. It really
And how
has.
old are your kids?
Sophia is 4 and Mason is 3.
And so all around, keeping you up all the time and everything.
Yeah, it's been great, man. Like they're wild kids, but I love them.
Now, obviously, pandemic and things. Neither one started any kind of kindergarten or anything yet.
No, not yet, not yet. We were thinking about putting Sophia into the pre-K this year. Just to kind of get her informed, and then like we got to looking into it, and then the school was like, well, we're doing limited classing and like limited attendance and stuff, and we're doing alternating days, and it's like by the time we were ready to pull the trigger on it, they'd closed the school down because one outbreak, and like it was like, well, that's over.
Right? Yeah. Can't
And
do
it's
anything with that.
no, and we don't even know what we're gonna do next year, like for kindergarten.
Right. Right.
Like, how do you homeschool with kindergarten? Like,
Yeah, you can't really.
I don't know. Like, I'll do it. I'm not scared.
Yeah. And then, I mean, my wife, we've been married 2 years and some change, not many. And we have a 10-month-old. So I know you were mentioning it earlier.
Baby.
Yeah, he's he'll be 11 months later this month, and it's wild. He's been walking for a month, and Christmas was fun. Don't we had a end of February baby, and Christmas was a blast. He
Oh, dude, tears it all up.
if he was only a couple months old, he's just laying there sleeping kind of thing or whatever, right? But like, at 10 months, he was, I want to play with this, I want to play with that, getting around. He's definitely seems like he's gonna be a handful. He seems like he's always gonna be on the move, which is
You have no idea.
which is a lot. It's gonna be a lot. I mean, I would say that when I was early 20s, I'm 30. I turned 30 this year. I'll turn 31 in July. I when I was younger in my 20s, I thought a relationship and family and kids, like I was ready for it. Early 20s, we're talking like 22 or something. And I'm so glad that didn't happen. At 30 now, like even now, I have a conversation with my wife all the time where it's like, I don't know if I'm ready, and we have one that's 10 months old. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like
I get that.
I wish I had more patience. I wish I had a lot of things. So, my wife is phenomenal. she has taken on a huge burden of, I wouldn't even say burden, right? It's a joy, but it is. I mean, it's a lot of
Uh,
work. It's a lot of effort, right? It's a lot. It takes a
dude, okay,
toll.
so
Takes a
my
toll.
wife never had a job. She got one time to prove me wrong and then quit. And that lasted like, maybe 3 months, and she was working part-time because I was working full-time. It's the way it's always been. I've always worked full-time. And then, here recently with money getting tighter and stuff, she reached out to the people that she was working for and was like, "Hey, you mind, me filling in on the weekend so that I could keep my full-time streaming during the week and, still do stuff on the weekends."
Hmm.
And they took her right back and, she's back in the workforce, and it's it's different, and I have a lot more respect for what she does, because
Yeah.
that's a job. I don't care what anyone says.
And what she do?
She just works at, like, a convenience store that mainly sells liquor. So, it's not a liquor store, but, like, it is.
Yeah, 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 they have it in the, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was always the plan, honestly, from the moment I met my wife. Well, I met her, and then it wasn't until 6 months later we actually stars aligned. We started dating and whatnot. And when we first started having those conversations, like I knew, I dated other people and everything like that, but I knew, and so we had the deep conversations pretty early on. But it was like, what do you? Because we were, when did I meet her? Met her in 2014. Started dating 2015. So 25. Like at that point, I wasn't looking personally for something that was just gonna be couple years and then break it off, couple years, break it off, or even 6 months and break it off. I was looking for, if I'm gonna date you, if I'm gonna get serious and stop talking to other people or start like invest in time, I
Yeah.
don't want to go down a road we're not gonna follow. So we had the conversation early. Like I was raised by a stay at home mom. Like my mom was stay at home until we all got to like middle school or so, and I have two brothers. And one older, one younger. And once we all got around the middle school age, she went back to work and she went to be a teacher, which worked out because then she has summers off and she can be home and she can, um, be home the same hours and those kind of things. But I said, at the beginning, and my wife wanted the same thing. She wanted to be, stay at home mom type of thing. I honestly just wanted a stay at home parent, not a stay at home mom, right? It could be a stay at home dad,
Yeah.
stay at home mom. I just find a lot of value in that. But it's a lot, right? You don't, when you go to work, you
It's
work
insane.
somewhere. Most jobs, not all jobs, but most jobs you can turn off when you leave, right? So it's like you don't have to be thinking about it, but there's no off switch when it's kids, right? They're there.
None.
They're there, and it's a lot of effort. So
Not in, like, going back into, like, just her and the kids in general, like, even trying to get that alone time is hard.
oh yeah,
I had to change my whole schedule around just to spend nights with her, because for the longest time, we didn't even share a bed because we were on opposite schedules,
sure. And you'd wake them
and
up, or yeah,
yeah, and, like, it was more feasible at the time to sleep in separate beds, and we set up our spare bedroom as her bedroom, and that's where she slept, so when the kids woke up in the middle of the night, they ran to her and not both of us, so that I could get up at 3 a.m. and drive an hour and a half to work.
yeah,
And we just got stuck in that rut, of fuck, dude, we're not even sleeping in the same bed. And like that gets hard as a parent.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we had it. You know, you're supposed to have a newborn in the room for the first
Oh
X
yeah.
number of months or whatnot, for sleeping concerns and things like that. And, I played video games still, and they were going to sleep at 7 p.m. And, like, I didn't go to sleep at that time. I don't think I could even try to go to sleep at that time. So, like, a lot of the time I was sleeping out on the couch just to not, interrupt his or her sleep when I went to
Yeah.
bed. So, and I would try to sneak in, right? It was like, oh, he's up to eat or something like that. Then it would be like, okay, let me sneak into the room at that time, and I try to do that. But it's definitely, it takes a lot. I was talking to a friend about it today, actually. I was texting him and saying, like, the me time kind of gets sucked out. And, like, I'm not going to act like I don't have me time because I do. That's what I'm doing. I'm part time doing this and things like that. I would not call work me time because work is not. But me
Oh
gaming, me
yeah.
streaming is me time for me. For you, that's a full-time gig. That's what you're making your money on. That's work at this point.
And my wife and I have had conversations, because it wasn't always my me time, like it was a hobby. This is what I did on the
Exactly.
weekends, and it was strictly weekends. And then like, here recently, like, I had to have a conversation with her, like, this isn't what it used to be anymore. Like, there are some mornings I do not want to get up at 5:30 in the morning and
Hmm.
start making graphics. Like, I don't want to do that. But at the end of the day, I know if I want to keep like everything rolling and the money coming in, I can't
Yeah.
not wake up.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between streaming as a full-time job and, my old job. My old job I could shut off just like you said. And content creation, no. It's never off and it sucks.
Yeah. No, it
But
isn't.
like I love it at the same time, like it's a struggle. And it's a constant battle, of, when do I turn off and when do I not? And
Right. No, it is. It is. It is.
I feel like I can never find that balance.
Yeah. And to be for me right now, I would say, um, streaming and gaming is my me time. And
Oh,
my
yeah.
and my wife doesn't. I would say she has next to none. Like,
Yeah, neither does mine. Like, other than her job now, like,
which
honestly,
isn't me
like
time. We're saying it's not. That's work. So it's not
yeah,
me time. It's alone time from the kids and whatnot, right?
yep,
You might be able to switch your mind off from it, but at the
yeah.
same time, that's not me time. So
No, it's not.
eh, either it's one parent doesn't have me time, or the other parent doesn't have me time, or both split the me time. And like I
Yeah,
I wish I could do a better job of splitting the me time.
yeah, I agree.
Right now I was on paternity leave. I will go back to work on Tuesday. But during the holidays I was on paternity leave, and I was doing things around the house and trying to clean up and this room and that room, because this wasn't just for the streaming, right? This is my office, so I can come in here and
Yeah, like,
work
you work
because
from home,
right.
right?
For everybody who was in my stream, we'll plug our streams later, right? For anybody who was in my stream before, I was sitting out in the basement area, which is now what he's playing in, right? He's getting bigger and he needs more space, and that's where he is. So it was like, hey, I have to get in this room. Did I have to like go above and beyond? No, but I did have to get this bookshelf built. I had to get some other stuff. That's a Christmas gift from my lovely wife. So like that, I have to put it up to represent like, hey, it's I appreciate this and everything. So, um,
And
yeah,
I
I mean,
love it. It looks so
it's
good.
yeah, I know. So it was such a headache. That thing was such a headache. Came out from overseas from an Etsy, and turns out one of the wires wasn't soldered on. Like it must have fell off in transport, and like nobody around the area could figure it out, or not figure it out, but nobody even looked at it. Like they were like, "No, I don't do that. No, I don't do that." I had somebody doing my bathroom, and he happened to be a certified electrician. He's like, "I'll take a look for you," and he looks and pulls it apart a little bit. And it's like, "That's your problem right there." So I ended up having to go out and buy a soldering iron and do it myself, and it was scary as hell because it's like
Oh,
these
yeah.
tiny little wires, right? And you're like, how do I not hit my finger with this 900-degree iron? Like, not trying to do that, but it worked out, and it does light up. But so we could come back to all of this.
I'll just
Let's
keep going.
Well, I was gonna get through like the different things, and then we can come back to it. But so let's talk about the what, like what this vodcast is gonna be, right? So I know this has kind of been my idea, and I don't want to run it by myself. I want to co-host, and I had a couple buddies, honestly, right, that talked about it with me prior. Both have a year-old and a 6-month old, and um, they just didn't think they had the time. And I know as long as you said as long as you can stream it, you're down to do a podcast, and I love that because of the people that I can say, like, I mean, what's it been, like 8 months? It's been 8 months since you popped into my stream, like eight nine
It's
months,
8, 9 months at
eight
least.
nine months, and it's like it doesn't feel like that short a time,
No,
right?
it
It
doesn't.
kind of feels like we've known each other much longer,
And I agree to that.
and so it's like what better person to have it be like able to talk through and things like that,
And I appreciate that. I really do.
and his
Like,
chat, in chat, like, I mean, who has a better microphone than Chris right now? You know what I mean? He went out and got his soundboard and everything like that. So like, it's gonna be sounding right.
And I mean, it was a gift,
It
but
kind of makes me sound like shit then, probably. You know what I mean?
no, but your room's empty right now. If
Oh,
it
oh,
wasn't for
no,
your
no, yeah,
room
yeah.
being empty, you would
So,
sound just fine.
so I knew we were gonna do this, and I wanted to kick off this year right, right. I want to do this every
Uh,
week, and we'll get into the when, but I want to get into this every week, and I just ordered a desk, right? I'm like, this desk that I have is a nice desk, IKEA desk, but I bought it when I was in an apartment. I brought it here. It was like maybe $100. I want a desk. I was looking to build one instead of that because you both are weird. Oh my god, I got people chatting from Dad Club Gaming. Uh, I don't even know who has access to Dad Club Gaming to chat. To be honest, it might be Derek, but it's he threw me off track now.
I seen it pop through, but I couldn't read it all.
So it's like I wanted to put this desk in before I throw my acoustic foam up on the wall behind me. Once I do that, we'll be set. So for now, it's
Yeah.
not like I'm in a closet. But in 3 weeks, hopefully, it's not. But so me, yes, boot me. Boot you from what? Boot you from what, Derek? Um,
Is that on
so
Facebook?
yeah, it's on Facebook. It's coming through Facebook. It's coming up. So what is this gonna be, right? What is this
Yeah.
podcast gonna be? And let's say started this idea of just having like a conversation with people who just want to come and meet people and talk and things like that and learn life lessons or whatever, right? Experiences that have went well or things you would have done differently or anything like that. Um, and so that brings me back to the who a little bit. Who's going to be on our guest list, right? And at the end of this or toward the end, I'm going to open up in the Discord for Dad Club Gaming. I'm going to open up the server to have a sign up. So there is a link out there right now. You can join the Discord by doing !Discord in the chat or by doing !sign up to get a direct link to that sign up that will not be available for sign up yet, but it will be here a little bit later when I make it visible for everybody. And we're just going to go on like a first come, first serve basis of who's available. If you want to have a partner in it, like you can have a couple people, that's fine. If you don't want to take this on by yourself of this conversation, or if you just want to chat with Chris and I, it's really going to be open up to anybody. He wants a comment for his name. Then switch it. It's like a setting in there, Derek.
Yeah, you click on your name beside share.
There's like a Facebook thing. You just change who's typing, like before you type it. See, he's black hack and then he's switching it to Chris. So Derek's gonna ask if this is the stream with the feet. And before you even say anything, Derek, here you go. Here you go. It's the stream with the feet, bro.
Yeah! First hand look.
Stream with the feet. Luckily, I took a bath today. Otherwise,
when's the OnlyFans start?
I want to hear
my
about
god.
the Roman Thanksgiving. Who got to pull the wishbone? I don't even remember.
Wait, do people still do that?
My brothers normally do. My younger brother wasn't able to make it to Thanksgiving dinner though because he was kind of in contact with COVID, or his wife was. So it was like they didn't want to risk coming. So yeah. So the what, right? That's the who. You don't have to be a dad to join this. You don't have you don't have to have any kids. You don't have to be a guy. You can be a girl. It doesn't matter. Whoever wants to be a part of this really works. Crown balls for sure. Derek, please switch your chat so it doesn't look like Dad Club Gaming is chatting this right now because you're confusing me. So what are we going to be getting into? I would say everything, right? I think I had some people in my other stream when I started talking to him about it. Like one guy wanted to talk about Japanese culture because he's fascinated with it. And it's like, bring it on. I don't know much. I don't know what I'll bring to the table, but I'll be a good ear and ask some good questions because I am fascinated with different things, like especially when somebody else has it. Don't drop the soap, or is this guy? So it's like that's what I'm kind of thinking. I don't know if you have any additional like what you could see coming from this.
I mean, it's really gonna be what we, make it as far as like what the guests can bring and what all topics we want to hammer the guests with.
That's what I was thinking too. Like
Yeah.
whether it be life lesson. So, like I said, we're calling it building character. Off the saying like a dad would say or anybody would say is it builds character, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of what I'm looking at this to be like. Just things that I wish I would have thought of earlier in life. That maybe will reach a younger crowd who hasn't gotten to the dad phase, or even if they did, maybe things that they haven't encountered yet, and somebody at an older hopefully will come in and give you and I like advice that we don't know yet,
Flippy.
right? Yeah, exactly. Shirtless maybe themed chat days. Yeah, so like I have some ideas on little quirks that we can do during this, right? Like if it's
Yeah.
early enough in the day, we can do a kids corner, right? And spelled kids and corner with a K, right? Maybe
Yeah.
backwards or something, just something funny and twist. And like if you have a kid, they can and you don't mind them being on stream, they can be on stream for a second or whatever, 5 minutes, whatever, or however long their attention span will last. Bring my son on camera. I mean, it's not really Derek's is contraceptive. Who's playing Fortnite? Yeah, who's playing Fortnite? Some people. I'm not right now.
I haven't opened Fortnite in a couple weeks.
Nah, that's a lie. Copyright, Kids
Uh,
Corner. Yeah, it's like you bring them in, you have like 30 seconds, whatever, right? And like have that. I also thought of like, just kind of ideas like that. So it would be kind of funny. Creamy boy, you're funny, Derek. Um, so let's talk about the when, right? So the when. So I'm thinking once a week. I think that's plenty. I think it's a goal to strive for. That would be 52 episodes in year one if we hit every
yep.
single week. Um, but let's talk about day of the week. So, Chris, I know you have a vodcast on Sunday nights. But really, I'm thinking any day, either during the week,
I'm
after
down for any day.
yeah, after I'm off of work or Saturday or Sunday morning, whatever, something like that. We'll figure it out. But it'll primarily the stream time is going to depend on the guests for the most part because Chris and
Yep.
I are usually it seems like we're pretty flexible in how much our schedule will allow for an hour or two window, right?
Yeah.
But a guest might be a little bit more like, oh, I have to do it this time or that time. And if it doesn't work out for us for some reason, then we probably just won't be able to have them on as a guest. But we'll probably be able to flex the most guests. So really thinking any day of the week, primarily after probably 5 on the weekdays or sometime on the weekend, not interfering with the podcast that Chris does on Sundays. And then where? So right now we're live on Dad Club Gaming Twitch page. It's not affiliated, so don't try to go over there and throw it money or anything like that. It's not what this is. If you want to throw anybody money right now, go over to Blackhack 2K and give that man a follow,
No,
a
I'm
sub, a gifted sub, bits, whatever you want to do. He's the full-time streamer here.
It is a gig.
And
It is a
it
gig.
is a gig. And he is live on that channel right now, too. It's just we're not going to interact with that chat as much on this live stream.
No, and
You'll
if
see him.
anyone sees me talking without you hearing me, that's because I'm talking to my chat.
And he's
Like
muted and
Corpy
things
just
like
popped
that.
in and says, "Oh my gosh, dad chat."
Politics and religion, I would think, should be talked about often. Yeah, it's pretty much open for discussion as long as it's not heated, right? As long as people can have an open discussion, I don't care. You can have that, Chris? Like, are you not good at having an open discussion
I'm
without...
good with anything other than politics.
Interesting.
If I know we're going to be discussing politics, I will not be live on my Twitch.
Oh, okay. That's a good call.
I'm fine to do with it. I'm fine to do it.
All right, so we'll
I
find out
won't
if the guests will
broadcast.
bring like things we're going to talk about and like,
Yeah.
Hey, are you going to want to talk politics? If not, then we're good.
I'm good with it. It's just because like politics bring out the worst in people, I think, or they have the potential to bring out the worst in people. So some people are very heavily opinionated, and I'm fine with that.
I would say what it does is it just brings out what they believe a lot more, and like you can bring a lot of facts to the table as well. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that, but like it is definitely one of those things, politics, religion, those kind of things that people get. I mean, you can get passionate about sports. Like, just people get passionate about sports and
Oh,
like
I
things,
agree.
and it's just like it's such a divide that it causes some problems. So enough of the politics, because I don't want to talk politics. You don't want to talk politics, but if somebody else wants to, we'll make sure we clear it beforehand.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so during the week, sometime, we'll find that window with the guest and have like a heads up from them, and then the so Twitch, we're live on the Dad Club Gaming, and we're live on Facebook right now. Dad Club Gaming has a Facebook page. It is live, not affiliated on Twitch for a reason. It's so I can stream to both Facebook and Twitch at the same time. I partly believe that Facebook is a lot better of a place for something like this, right? Like people
I
just
agree.
sitting there, want to Facebook, and it pops up on your news feed and you can watch it, right? And you can listen
Yep.
to it. Twitch is a great place, and it's where I stream to. It's where Chris streams to. But it is definitely more of the gaming community, right? I wasn't on Twitch until I started gaming, and was like, oh, let me stream to Twitch.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of what it comes down to. So I'm also planning to post a recording, possibly edited, possibly not. We'll see how it goes, to YouTube, once a week. Like, that's the goal. By Sunday night, that's why I want this to happen before Sunday night, and it's perfect because Chris has a vodcast. Post it to YouTube Sunday night, so those Monday mornings people can watch it back and watch whatever they want on their drive or whatever, listen to it however they want to go about it. I should post my first TikTok, right, to Dad Club Gaming right now. Huh? Should
I already
post my?
posted
I
mine,
know. I
so
saw you did. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see here.
how you doing, Corpy?
The first one. So
Where's this string coming from?
what's that? The string? Yeah. Where is that string coming from?
Don't know.
I don't want to like edit it though. You know what I mean?
I don't. Anytime I upload our other podcast, I literally take it from the time I say we're starting to the
Ah,
end of
okay.
me saying peace.
So 15 seconds. Flip this bad boy around, right? We're just like,
Oh, I gotta like this.
we're
Chat.
live, right?
He's making a TikTok.
I'm making a TikTok right now. First one ever. This is all Chris's fault because I wouldn't be on TikTok if it wasn't for him. I'm actually not on TikTok. Dad Club Gaming is. But we'll do this right here.
It's already got 3 followers. I'm one of them. Chase is the other, and his wife is
And
probably
Neo.
the other.
And Neo. It's Neo.
Neo.
Neo. He found me on there. First ever vodcast of building character, live right now with Chris Miller. Also Black Act 2K. Come check it out. All right, that's all I did. That's it. That's it, chat. That's all we did. We're posting that with no words, no nothing. Describe your video. Do you add hashtags on TikTok? Is that the
You
best
can.
way to get found?
I mean, it definitely, puts it out there. I would definitely hashtag it Facebook Gaming. Uh, maybe throw out a Twitch in there somewhere, just to get the streamer folk involved, or you could just hashtag it Family Man, or
I'm just gonna
the
at you, and that's the
dad.
end of it. You know what I mean? It's the only
I mean,
person I can add.
I'm totally fine with that. Mm-hmm. Corpy, are you dad? So, for anyone that doesn't know, Corpy in my chat right now is a TikToker with well over 100,000 followers, and I've popped in his stream a couple times, and he's been great to watch.
Allow
Great
duet?
people.
Do I allow you to duet it?
I plan on duetting it as soon as it comes out.
I guess I don't need to save this device. Screw that. Automatically share to these other places? Nah, we're not doing that. Too hard. Too hard to do right now. All right, it went. I think. I don't really know. I don't really know. That's the first one ever. Okay, it's up. You do what you need to do with it. I'll take it from here for a second. So that's the where we'll be posting to YouTube every Sunday night, streaming live to Twitch and Facebook. Now let's talk about the why, right? Kind of touched a little bit on the why when we touched on the what. I think the why is because there's a lot of things I wish I knew sooner in life, was prepared for in life. And I also think that there's a lot of things that I have yet to learn that I think other people know and could teach me. Like I mentioned earlier, I soldered, and just figuring out what the problem was with the light itself had me helpless. I was like this thing I wanted up in time for the room that I was doing on January 1st, a room reveal I did 2 days ago, or midnight, New Year's Eve, right? I wanted to light up. I wanted it on, and it does light up. It's just too bright for right now. And
It looks really good though.
and I was so lost. I was like, okay, let me search. Like, let me try to find somebody in the air because this thing came from overseas, and I'm looking, and to be honest with you, I found a neon glass place. You know, the place that makes the bar signs with like the neon glass and things like that. And I go all the way into the city. I drive like an hour into the city, COVID and all, mask on, go inside, and I talked to him over the phone. I get there and I talk to the guy who's actually the tech. And he's like, "No, we don't do LEDs." And it's like, "Can you at least take a look?" So he took like a brief look. You know, he didn't want to mess with it or whatever. And I drive all the way back home with the wife and kids. So it's kind of it was shitty. And I
Nerve
think that,
wracking too.
and I think people out there can give that advice, right? Like, and this can build some type of community for that kind of help and things like that. So that's the why, right? That's really what's on my mind at least for why I wanted to do this. I stumbled into. I mean, I don't know if I stumbled in. I always have the stream, Chris's stream open when I'm playing and things like that. It's just always muted. And when I'm done, I end my night with like just decompressing from the gaming I'm doing and checking out these other streams. And I stumble into Chris and these guys just having this like man to man, heart to heart talk. And but it was about streaming and everything and things like that. And it just spurred this idea. I already had this created. I had this server created. I had this idea created, and I just wanted to take it to the next level of like, what could it actually be? Um, so thinking about Dad Club Gaming being like a gaming, I don't know if you call it team, just a group of people who like still have the same idea. You don't have to be a dad. You don't have to be a guy to be in it. And then hopefully we get some guests want to sign up along the way. So that's the 5 Ws. We covered that in about 45 minutes. That was pretty good and efficient. But we
I
didn't
fully agree.
but we didn't dive into any meat of it.
No.
I don't think we really have any meat to dive into on the when and the where unless people have questions.
I
Like,
don't think anyone does on my end.
yeah, I don't think anybody would have questions about, oh, we'll be on Facebook, we'll be on Twitch. Hey, if people are in your chat and they want to like interact with you in the chat, they can do it through Dad Club Gaming. If they want to participate, if they want to sign up, things like that. And otherwise, it'll be on YouTube Sunday nights and check it out later. And maybe I shorten it a little bit. Maybe I cut out some fat, whatever I have time to do.
Do you hear that dog?
No. Maybe like very, very faintly, but no. Do you hear a dog?
Very clearly. Very clearly.
This man just trying to brag about his microphone just a little bit. Just a little bit. He's trying to brag about his microphone and how it's
That's
not
not
picking that
true. I
up.
was just making sure because it's very loud to me.
Oh. I barely hear it.
Okay.
I hear it like very like it's not super loud if at all. I heard it now that you're asking me. How about that?
Yeah, I'll try to.
Let me
drown
say
that
I
with
wouldn't
my
have heard those
background
footsteps had somebody been rolling up on me, in a game.
noise.
I'd have died to it. So let's talk a little bit more about maybe who, right?
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
fine to dive
meaning
in.
I want to dive into like we went over like the vodcast in series, but I want to know a little bit more about Chris, right?
Oh gosh.
That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna jump into the who. So like Chris is married about 5 years, right?
I've been with her for
With for
5,
5 years,
married
yeah.
for a year and
Some change.
7 months.
Okay, you gotta count all the way back. And you
Yeah.
got 2 kids and a dog, right?
It's not my dog.
Well, the kids have a dog, and Wife
It's
has a
not their
dog.
dog, it's her sister-in-law's dog. She
Oh,
got rid
okay.
of the dog she got.
Okay. But you guys own the dog now.
I I want nothing to do with that thing.
Okay. So
It
two
sheds, and I
kids.
can't stand dog hair.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, we have it all over the place.
Aw, sad.
So two kids, and you're living where? For all the people
We
out
live in
there.
Central Illinois. There's it's just a small little town. There's a prison, and that's the majority of our population here.
There you go. Hey, as long as you're one of the ones on the outside of it, right?
Yeah, well, in like the prison also, we get the good perks. We got all the great internet. I'm running freaking fiber optic with a gig up and a gig down, and we wouldn't have that if that wasn't for that prison.
Sure, because you'd be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where are you from originally? Where'd you
I was
grow
born
up?
and raised in New Lancaster, Ohio.
And
Yeah,
how
and then
how far
we
is that? Would you say from where you are now?
7.5 to Columbus, and then another 2 hours down to Lancaster, and then to Coolville, Ohio is like where we moved to after Lancaster, and then yeah, it's probably about 9-ish hours from right where I sit. My folks just recently moved back from Illinois. They moved back to Coolville. Uh,
And do you have any siblings, brothers, sisters?
uh, so like that's a complicated question. It's uh, so I say it's complicated
Well, that's it.
because
So hold on. Before you even get into that, let's say that. Like you mentioned it to me, right?
yeah.
I was basically talking about what this vodcast would be, and it was originally I wanted to send like list of questions and have like a guest say, no, I don't want to talk about that. But it's kind of more organic to just say, hey, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it. You know what I mean? If it's
Oh no,
complex, or
I
no, but I'm
love
saying
talking
in
about
general, you were
it.
starting down the. I'm saying there might be people, might be guests in the future
Oh
who are
yeah,
like, I don't want to come on there if they're going to ask me these type of questions I don't feel comfortable with. And it's one
yeah,
of those things like I think it's helpful to be able to voice when you're uncomfortable around things, right?
yeah. And
So
and someone in chat just said, like, can you talk about what brought you to where you are now? And I feel like that's kind of what we're into right now.
that is,
We're gonna, where we started and where we're at. That basically tell me who you are. Like that's how I feel. The who is,
yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
and
So
you know,
you were saying it's complicated. Did you want to dive into what's
oh,
complicated?
definitely. So, like, my parents were very caring, and all they had more heart to give. So they did foster care, and me and my two sisters are all blood related to my folks, and but I grew up in a house full of 11 women, and that was all them kids or teenagers or babies even. I remember babies. They it was all foster care, and it was the one of the best life experiences I ever had growing up. Different people, different cultures, different backgrounds. And my wife asks me all the time. She's like, "What's the craziest shit you ever seen?" I'm like, "Yeah." Well, one time my mom put a kid in a refrigerator 'cause she attacked her with a knife. So
I honestly don't think I had known that.
yeah,
Like, there's a
it's
lot that I already knew. Obviously, we've been talking for 9 months now, but I honestly don't think I knew any of
oh
that.
yeah. Yeah, so, like, my parents built their first house. It was 13 bedroom, and, we had our own basketball court. My dad had his own business, and, like, it was wild, and then, something happened in the early 2000s. I don't remember what it was. You might, because 'cause you're more, I think, historically, like, more about our
Are you trying
history
to
than
say
I
I'm
do.
older? Are you trying to say I'm older?
I don't think you're
Are
older
you?
than me, though.
I am older than you.
By how much?
Like 3 years or something, right? I already told you my age.
No way.
I said it during
I
this.
coulda swore we were around the same age.
I'm 30.
Dude, you're only a year older than me.
When did you turn 29?
This year.
When? July.
July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sure, I'm a year older.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
But, something happened. My dad lost his business, and then we had to downscale a lot. We sold the house, and, that's when we moved to Coolville. And, then my mom said she was never gonna get back into foster care because she couldn't, do it at the volume she was used to doing it to. So we went down to, just 1 to 2 kids, and, we had a double wide trailer, and we lived right off the Ohio River, and it was the best thing ever. I loved it. I
Yeah.
was just a little river rat, and,
Tim, thanks for the host.
uh,
So,
then my dad got a job opportunity out here to come out and survey some land here in Illinois, and he come out one time, and then they told him, you either stay or you go back without a job. And, they gave him an ultimatum, and he took it because that was what was right, for the family.
mm-hmm.
And we all moved out here in '09, and, that's when I kind of wanted to do my own thing, because I was 17 when we moved out here. And, I went and did my thing. I graduated high school, started college, and then I got a job offer at the same place he was working as a, just a scale operator, nobody. And, I worked my way up, and, I put in long, hard hours, and I got a divorce to prove it because I was never home. And, uh, I married someone early on, and, it didn't work because I dove into work so hard, so hard, like to the point it wasn't healthy. And,
Yeah, is there anything, just for the sake of, like I said, I would say that's like an opportunity for building character in my mind,
oh
right?
yeah, dude.
Is there
Yeah.
anything like you would say that like you learned
Oh, 100%.
from like that relationship and being younger when you got married and kind of the
Yeah.
decisions made, and then even so much as to how it affected your current relationship, and how
Oh
you and
yeah.
Miranda got to where you are and everything.
Yeah, so like, my first one failed horrifically because of, me being a workaholic. And I don't think I ever really stopped it, but someone noticed that, like, I was slipping at work and I wasn't doing as hard. A divorce will do that to anybody. And then when I got with Miranda, my whole life changed. It was like my eyes opened wide open again. And, I was doing better at work. I put in the time. I was getting those promotions and working harder than I ever worked before. And it was it was the best thing ever happened to me. I never excelled at work as fast as I did without Miranda. And, I wouldn't have had that experience to be like, well, I have to do this home time now. I have to split this time. And then, you know, everything was great. And then I got sick here last year in 2020, and they found something in my head. And then, like, my whole life changed. I couldn't work as hard. I couldn't put in the time. I couldn't focus. And then, I had brain surgery in July of 2020, and then it dawned on me that I wouldn't probably be able to go back to that job because I was always around heavy machinery, and here I am having seizures and can barely walk, you know, and my doctor told me it might be time for a career path change, and I'm
Mm.
like, what?
Yeah,
I've been doing this my whole adult life,
yeah.
I don't know anything else, and it was the scariest shit I ever known.
So
Or
when did that diagnosis come? Like, was that early 2020?
it
I
was
was around when I know when you
yeah. So
went in for surgery.
February is when I first started getting, the crazy headaches, and I was missing tons of work because I couldn't drive, I couldn't focus, I couldn't see sometimes, and well, I physically couldn't see. So like the pressure in my brain actually crushed my right optic nerve, and I have no peripheral vision, like none.
That's
You
why
know,
you're so bad at games.
yeah. So like I know I should see this, and I know it's here, but I'm only seeing it with like this eye.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like I'm very tunnel visioned in this eye, and it was the worst and best thing that ever happened to me. Like it sucked, but like look, I'm streaming full time, and I would have never had that push if my doctor didn't tell me there's almost no way you could go back to that.
Sure. And so when did you actually start streaming as a hobby?
It was actually me and my buddy October of 18, 19, October of 19. And
October of 2019.
yeah, it was either 18 or 19.
I'm gonna say it's 18 unless
It
you
hasn't been
started
2 years
after
yet.
me.
It's
Unless you
19
started,
months.
it,
I'm at
then
19
it's a
months.
little bit sooner than that then. Would have been like July or something. Because I started streaming just
Okay,
like
so
that's
I
when I
might have
became
been streaming
affiliated.
that early, but I didn't hit the affiliation until October of
Okay.
something.
Okay.
Yeah. So like that's when it starts for me,
Sure. Yeah.
Uh
Yeah, no, I agree.
and it actually started with a conversation of me and my buddy. I mean, he was the best man at my wedding, and he was like, "Dude, you funny motherfucker. Why aren't you streaming?" And I'm like, I don't know. I never knew of the world. Like, I
Same.
never knew of the Twitch world, never knew of, any of the gaming stuff. Like, honestly, I had no idea where people were actually making money gaming.
Same.
And, like, you always hear it, but you never see it.
I mean, I'll,
And
I'll tell you right now, I had no idea of any of it until, I mean, I guess it's been what? I started playing Fortnite 2018, early
yeah.
2018, like season 3. So at that point, I didn't know about the game. It was like a coworker asked me. Next thing you know, a coworker says, "Oh yeah, it's like the #1 streamed game, right?" And I'm like, I didn't know anything about streaming. Pull it up. Next thing you know, I'm watching, Ninja and all the classic people who are like all the, more for learning. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
not for streaming, but
Oh, it's
learning the
intriguing.
game.
It's like, ooh.
Well, it's learning the
That's,
game, right? They were playing the game and they were playing it at a like a high level that you could learn from them and be entertained because it's like watching TV, right? If they have a good personality and they're good at gaming, it's like watching a good movie with good actors, right?
oh, I agree.
If you watch a stream with bad play, it's kind of entertaining because you're watching like a good movie with bad actors, right?
Yes.
Or
That,
maybe it's a bad movie with good actors because they have good
I tell people
personality
all
and
the
then like
time, you're not coming to watch me for my gameplay. You're coming to watch me die
yeah,
and
yeah.
laugh about
You
it.
either have the personality to win people over, you have the skill to win people over. Usually, the
Yeah.
people with skill probably don't have their camera on. You probably don't talk a lot, right?
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Shout out to Chaos Chase if you're out there. That's Chaos Chase. No camera, no mic, but his gameplay's off the hook.
So like, back to, everything. It started that long ago. It was just a weekend thing. I did tons of giveaways because I always, I had that flexible income. And uh, that's what people were known for. That's how I got my start on Twitch, was just doing constant giveaways. You know more about that than most. Like, it's,
Yeah,
I did it so much I made people sick. And
you still make me sick.
so like, I
But now it's that shit on your
in
chin that makes me sick.
mine too.
No, yours. That's what I'm talking about.
So like, when I didn't have that flexible income, and I realized I had to turn my hobby into a career, like, because I don't know how to work from home. I don't know how to do what you do. I don't know, I don't know how to go about getting a customer service job. And like, thankfully, I've met thousands of people through my TikTok, and some of them have even said, "Hey, call this number. You'll have a customer service representative job by next week." And it's like, wow,
Yeah,
I put myself in a situation to have those opportunities. But at the same time, I had to look at it as standpoint, do I want to keep going in the direction I'm going? And at that time, it was, holy shit, I just made enough money to support my family for an entire fucking month playing a video game and giving away graphics. At the same time, that comes at a cost, like
it's a lot of
time,
energy, a lot of effort. Yeah,
energy, and money. I was spending money to give away free graphics.
yeah,
Everything from electric to paid services like Adobe, paying
sure.
my commercial licensing on some of my templates and, the software, like everything involved in it. And,
Got to pay.
that's when I
Spend money to
realized, like,
make money, right?
yeah, and you did. And I couldn't I didn't have that expendable income to be giving away V-Bucks or COD points or, giving away a webcam every week. I couldn't do it anymore. And it was killing me as a content creator. So I was like, that's where the graphics come into play. And I was like, I'm going to do this full time. I'm going to hit it harder than I've ever hit it before. And that's when I blew up. Like, that's when my TikTok took off. That's when my Twitch took off. And now I'm making decent money to, pay the majority of my bills. And, then something happened, at home, and the money was getting tighter and tighter, among the holiday seasons and everything. And that's when I was like, well, I have to do something, I have to
Switch the pace.
change.
But
And
and to be honest
and
with
then
you,
I offered the paid graphics, and it was crushing me as a content creator to do that.
yeah, but you have to. So I mean, by now, there's been enough people who have told you
Oh, hundreds.
that.
Yes.
I mean, yes, you're content creating, right? Sure, you're content creating, and people are giving you subs and things like that, But I'm sorry, man. You're doing what other people do for a living, just not in front of a camera.
Yeah.
And people are paying those people, not in front of
Yeah.
a camera. And to be honest with you, the fact that you're in front of the camera allows you, not all the time, because not everybody is able to come into your stream when you're making the graphics for them. But if they are, the fact that you're in front of the camera, showing you make it while you make it, actually makes your graphics better because people can actually interact with them. How many times am I like, yo, can you move
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Can you move that over? Can you change that color? Hey, I love it,
See,
but what
eh,
about this?
okay, so I had a great experience with a guy last night, an ill-minded one, here on Twitch. He watches me all the time, and I anytime I do things, I send them the concept with a watermark, and they accept it. And that's when I'm like, okay, let's get the payment out of the way, and then we'll hop in a Discord call, and I'll share my screen, and you get to adjust things as you go. And he was like, "What? Hell yeah!" So we get going through it, and at the end of it all, he tips me an extra 50 on top of the 100 he already paid me, for a full rebrand, and or for almost a full rebrand. And he was like, "Dude, it was so worth it to be a part of this experience and to get to know you better." He was like, "I don't think I could have done this any other way." And it's like, me being me, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I have to offer until I'm told. And like,
People, it's hard. It's hard to know, like, and it's hard to know your worth or other people's worth. Like, you don't know what you're getting when you pay somebody for something, or
yeah,
you all people know at this point are the price tags in the stores, right? It's
yeah,
like because if I go to Best Buy, the price of it is this. If I go to Walmart, price of it is this. And if I go here, and they're all within a few dollars or cents of each
yeah,
other, right? It's like there's already a price set on that. And guess what? There are people who get paid to decide that price.
yes,
You are not the person deciding the price. Like you should be because it is your stuff, but it's really hard because that's not what you're good at, right? You're not price. The same people who manufacture, a monitor are not the people who then price the monitor. The people
yeah,
who manufacture the monitor are good at manufacturing, and then the people who are good at the business end of it look at it and say, "We paid this, and this. This is our break even number. We should charge this to make a profit." Right?
yeah,
And that's the thing. You're the person making the monitor, not the person pricing it.
yeah.
So let these people keep pricing the monitor for you. Let them tell
Yeah,
you
and
what it is.
I have my base, and I want to say 9 times out of 10, I get anywhere from a 20% all the way to 150% tip. And it's like, and I ask the same thing every time. I just had one today before I started streaming. I did it for Jay. I did his logo, and he tipped 100%.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Why, dude? You overpaid." And he's like, "Oh, I know. But watching you do that was the most magical thing I've ever seen." He's like, "And you let me make all the tweaks I wanted
Yeah,
live."
yeah, the updates.
He's like, "I fucking love it." And it's like, "Jay, calm yourself." And like, and what those tips do for me and my family, like that keeps the flow, that keeps the energy. And I'm not saying everyone should tip because like some people don't have that income to tip. And I I I don't like ever talking about money, and I think that's why I hated doing the paid option.
Sure, because you didn't have to talk about money prior to that.
Yeah, and like, accountability, like I could walk away at any point.
Sure. Yeah, so
And
I don't know though. If somebody like subscribes to your channel for like 2 years straight up front, and then you just stop streaming even
yeah,
like
like
once a
what?
month, like that's messed up. Like
Yeah.
you can't do that up to them.
Yeah, and
But
it's true.
no, I mean like I'm the same way. I would say in a you know, even though you continue to defy me, my hobby, my channel that is affiliated, not this one, but my Caesar RU channel, I I promote Prime subs,
Oh,
right?
I'm
Like
fully aware.
I'm like, hey, you have a Prime sub, throw it your boy's way or to anybody else. But if you want, throw it my way. But you do not need to come in here. I'm not a full time, like, I want the ability to be able to walk away. Like, I do it when I can. I don't have like a set schedule. But like, throw me the Prime sub, and I feel good about it because I know that it didn't cost you anything. You have the Amazon Prime. You're using it for that, and that's what I tell like a lot of my coworkers and friends. Like, the only headache is I give them is I text them, right, and I say, hey, don't forget your sub went up, right, and it's because like people, they're not even in my channel, right, and
Yeah.
honestly I'm getting people to subscribe to me or gift subs who aren't doing with Prime because they find me somehow and they appreciate me being there, and that's awesome too. Don't get me wrong. Like, these kids from Boston, they popped in here. I don't know if you guys are still out there, but they popped in to watch this stream because I told them I'm doing this, and I've been playing with them the last couple of days and whatnot. They're good kids that like I said
Oh
before,
yeah.
I wouldn't meet somebody half my age or even like I have a couple people tell me they're like half my age. I'm like, there's no way. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
because
I
that's not
totally
what I
agree.
was doing when I was that age, right? I wasn't
Yeah.
on playing video games with random people. It just wasn't around when we were. I mean, yes, we did, right? We played the Call of Duty and we played with
Yeah.
random
We played
people,
Halo,
but
whatever.
you were
It was
typically
nothing like it
yelling
is
at
now.
them, right? You were typically like, "Oh,
Yes.
you're trash. Like, you're not any good at the game," kind of thing. Not, "Oh,
It wasn't a support like it is.
yeah." So it's definitely weird, but like I am 100% Prime subs. Bring them my
Now,
way.
can I elaborate on like a Prime sub?
Yeah,
Because like,
yeah.
so like, so a Prime sub, um, and I get this a lot in my chat, and they're like, "Oh, I had to Prime sub, my bad," and I'm like, "Bro, okay, so let me explain this just like I explain my raids. Someone comes in, they raid me, and they only have one viewer, and I'm like, bro, hold up. You chose me. You didn't have to choose me for that raid. You could have chose thousands of other people, but you chose me, and I appreciate that. That Prime sub, you only get that once a month, and you chose me. Thank you for that Prime sub. And I'm pointing at you, Caesar, because you give me your Prime, and it's the truth.
It's
You
it's
know,
because it's because I don't subscribe. The same way I feel about having people subscribe to me. I'm not on Twitch. If I start gifting subs or subscribing, I am very money conscious as well. Like, yes, there's LED off-brand lights up there. Yes,
same.
there's a sign there, but guess what? That sign is instead of getting the PS5 or the Xbox that everybody else is getting, right? It's like a
Yeah,
substitute for that. So it's like, yes, that's my Christmas gift that I decided that that's what I wanted, right? And that's what I got. Like, I didn't get that and some things. Like, that's what I got. And that and the llama behind as well. Sorry, but
I seen the
oh my
llama. I
god, I
seen it.
can't I can't get out. I
It's
hate I hate
glad.
moving cameras. There it is.
I love it.
That was my wife and I do like we live outside of Philadelphia and my parents live outside of Pittsburgh. So when we drive across the state, since year one, we would be driving in the middle of the night. Now this year we drove after Christmas morning because now we have a kid and we wanted to celebrate Christmas morning here. But normally it was from her parents to my parents through the night, and we would stop on the turnpike and exchange one gift at like just us. So that was my gift this year that we exchanged. Even though on Christmas morning we exchanged it in the car just to keep that tradition going. Which I'm a big person on that. Like, it's something like I love traditions. I love like keeping some type of commitment going, which is kind of why I stream as often as I do because it's easier to keep that rolling. Um, but yeah, Prime subs like you were mentioning, it's all I can offer you at this point. You know what I mean? And like, yes,
I
there's
love it.
plenty of other people, and I've offered a Prime sub a couple times before. But at this point, it's like, hey, Chris gets my Prime sub, and I don't have a supporter creator code. Black Hack does, so hit up Black Hack 2K in the Epic Store for supporter creator code. But I hit up Chaos in the creator code because I'm like, hey, I already used my Prime sub. I'm not going to subscribe to your channel, but I'll use a creator code because I am already going to spend this money. I might as well support you along the way, right? I think there was a time there that I was supporting Dakota's, and I'm like, yeah, he doesn't know about this money coming in from me. He doesn't care,
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I mean, the Prime sub is awesome. I agree with you.
I
It
do.
doesn't.
I love them. I
They're
love them.
great. You chose them.
Yeah.
But for the people, the people who are gifted and everything else, or subscribing or whatever with their money, it's so appreciated, like across the board.
You
Like
have
from
no
people,
idea.
for me, it's like okay, I'm gonna keep doing this because like there's people who enjoy my company. For Chris, being a full time job now, being a full time gig, and trying eventually to be partnered, right?
Yeah.
It's even more so. Like it's heads and above. Like obviously you're saying the prime stuff you appreciate, but like all of the like, come on, man, Vibe is absolutely out of his mind. Along
I'm
with
at
other people in your
700.
channel.
You realize I'm at 712 Twitch subs.
Yeah, which is interesting. So let's talk about that for a second, right? For people who are interested in like just us and everything, why do you choose? Like, what's your main reason for choosing a total sub count versus the monthly sub count, which is what I do, right? I only, in my mind, I'm like, hey, I want to know how many people are here this month, primarily because I want to pressure those people who forgot with the Prime sub, right? I'd be like, hey, I'm only at 10 and I have 15 people with Prime sub. Who's not doing it yet, you know?
Yeah.
Why is your reasoning for your subscriptions?
So, like, as far as like, why should people get one, or like, why is my sub count so high, or like,
No,
why do I?
but your sub count isn't per month. Your sub count is like a running total. So like
Yes, it is.
tomorrow you might lose 5, but if you
Oh yeah,
gain
tomorrow
7,
I'll
it'll go
wake
up
up and
2.
it'll probably be like 650.
That's a bit extreme. That's like
No, I started off last month with a big hitter,
okay.
so like, yeah, I think it was like 67
Somebody
subs in
gifted
one
at the
night.
beginning of the month. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, so what's the reason? Is it just so you see a total that you're like,
So
hey,
like,
at
it's
all times I want to be in this range because I know if I'm in this range every day, if I average this many subs, that's the money line that I'm like, hey,
so
this
like
is I can do
so
this
like
full time.
subs are only half the battle for me.
Sure.
Being a full time creator and supporting the fam. Subs are half the battle. Bits are the other, 25% of that, and the other is probably the graphics now. And
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it was a 50-50 split. And you know, uh, seeing that running total, that's like, that running total of my subs is it's not like a validation, but it is. It's something to say, hey, I have this many subs on Twitch. I can guesstimate where I'm at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I have my total sub count,
I mean,
because
it makes sense, right? It 100% makes
it
sense to
does.
keep it in your head of how many people are here from a daily. Oh, we got a follow on Facebook. Nice from
Let's
Brad.
go. So like, you know, like uh it's just I think that's it. I have that running total always. And someone told me, you need to set your we were talking about goals for 2021 this year. Well, my goal for 2021 this year is to hit 1,000 subs.
Sure.
Last year it was 600. You know, we crushed it.
And yeah. Your goal is a thousand subs. You want to average 1,000 subs. Some days it
Yes,
might be up a little bit, but then there might be another day it's a little bit lower. But you want to average 1,000 subs. But like so
a
one
month.
day,
Yeah,
right? Right. You want to hold it for the month, right? That makes sense.
yeah. And I know I'm
Um,
not going to get it starting off. It may be July before I ever hit 1,000, or it might
no,
even be October.
you have to
You
set
don't
a
know.
goal, right? You have to set a
So,
goal.
and I tell everyone all the time, you don't set yourself limits, you set yourself goals. And people have to realize the difference between a limit and a goal. You should never have a limit. You should always be trying to achieve a goal,
Sure.
you know, and, hitting that 1,000, it's not a relief. It's not. Trust me, because now you have to hold it.
Yeah.
You have to maintain it, and you have to strive for something bigger. Because if you don't, you're done. Like you've given up. You've stopped to the work. You've stopped to the work ethic. You've you have hit your goal, and you literally set the limit for yourself, and you're like, okay, I don't have to work that hard anymore.
Sure.
And it's not true.
Yeah. Um, no, I mean that made a lot of sense. What you said there with my I'm just thinking a little bit because my wife did give me one thing. Um, piece of advice for the end of this, so I'm gonna hold on to what you just said there, and we're gonna bring
Okay.
back we're gonna bring it back because I liked it a lot. Um, Now mine, right, I'm doing monthly, which is, I mean, I guess essentially the same thing. But if I showed you like what my sub count is on a daily basis, like it's lower than what I'm actually showing, right, on the sub counter because I want to. For those of you who don't know, right, Chris made this logo for me, my Twitch logo, my Instagram logo, like my logo for my channel, not Dad Club Gaming, but he also made the Dad Club Gaming logo, which pops up every once in a while in the corner of the stream. Um, he made this logo, and then I'm like, I wear a hat every single stream. My hair is ridiculously long right now. Been
Mine
growing it
too.
just as old as my son, so almost coming up on 11 months. And yours is nowhere near mine, right? You know
It's
that?
getting long. Oh,
Nowhere
I
near
know how
mine.
long your hair is. It's disgusting.
So I always wear a hat when I stream, and I'm like, you know what? Like, how can I get a hat made with this logo on it, right? So I went out and I look and I find it, but it was gonna cost me like a ridiculous amount for one hat to be made, which is understandable. They have to make the cut and stitch and everything like that. But it was gonna waive that fee for making that stitch if I ordered six, and the cost of the hat itself came way down, like cut in more than half, right, per
Oh
hat.
wow.
Like it was extremely low, still reasonably priced, like a hat that you went to a hat place and bought. And so I'm like, how do I now get rid of these hats? Chris has one. He's not wearing it right now.
I'm
He's
looking
looking
for it.
for it. I know he is. You don't
Oh,
put it
it's up
on.
there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
up there.
So he has one.
I got it out of the reach of the kids.
Yeah, rightfully so. He wanted immediately. He's like, oh, I want to buy one from you and this and that. I'm like, dude, no. I was already planning on sending you one. I just need to go to the post office, which was a little bit hard for me for pandemic. So he had to wait for it, but
That's
he
very pestering.
he would give me a hard time all the time, but he got one. Um, but I'm like, okay, there's four more still. How and I'm gonna order more if I start meeting goals and things like that. But like, how do I give these away? Like, how do I do a
Yeah.
giveaway of these hats that I got? And I decided, hey, I'm gonna set a monthly goal, and I wanted to set it a little bit higher, so it was like I made some money on Twitch because I do put a lot of time into this. But then I gave the hat away, and right now I'm at a point of like, yeah, I still make a little bit, but my goal is what I think I have it set at 25 because I haven't actually reached 25 yet for a month. Like I said, I target Prime subs, right? I don't. This man, it makes it really hard to only target Prime subs. And this month,
I only gifted like 2 yesterday.
and
Or
you
the day
subbed
before.
yourself, so that's three right there.
Whatever.
And I had somebody else do something similar, so it's like January's already off to a good start, but I have it set pretty low at 25.
I'm a
Um,
prime whore. I give that some bitch out like it's nothing.
well, so the nice thing about it is the more you gift, right? The more, and this was the interesting twist I had on it, right? It's like I'm gonna do a spin the wheel, right? If I ever hit that giveaway, I'm gonna do a spin the wheel for all the subscribers, but not the ones who got gifted a sub, right? The gifted the sub people go to the person who gifted the sub. So because people were complaining like, oh, well, I was gonna subscribe, but he gifted me a sub and I can't, right? So that's what you have to do then. You have to gift a sub. You know what I mean? And it sucks for somebody who has a Prime sub who would have done it with Prime, but it is just what it is. So it's like, hey, you get more entries for more gifted subs. Just
Yeah.
something fun to win. And I'll move that carrot every single month. We hit it, right? So if I hit the sub goal, I'm gonna move it 5. Hit the sub goal, I'll move it 5. Move it up, move it up. Just because
And I used to do it that way.
I'm just saying it's gonna make it more of a. It's just so cool to win things, in my opinion. Like I don't care
Oh
what it
yeah.
is. It's so cool to win things that like the fact that the hat will be so limited, right? To how many people.
Oh yes.
Why not do that?
Yeah,
What's
there's
up,
only 6
AAA?
people that have
What
this
would you
hat
do if I
goal.
donated $100, or as I said?
That's Orda.
I would refund you if you did that, right?
So he wants to see your hair. He's been telling me in my chat that he wants to see your hair.
Oh, he wants to see the hair.
Yeah.
Well, or is it donate $100 to you to see my hair?
I'll take it.
Nah. So here.
Look at it. Doesn't he look like a whole different man?
So
That club gaming. Look at this hair, bro. Or to drop the link in chat. Look at him. He's a totally different man. Hey, show the wife. Show the wife. Show the wife. Look at Caesar's hair. Look at it. He can put that shit in a ponytail. A man bun? Oh, God. Rock the man bun.
the half up, half down.
Yeah. You look good, though.
So you know this already, right? I've told you. I grew my hair out for 2 years, right up into the time that I got engagement pictures.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to send pictures out to family I hadn't seen in a while. Who are you talking to? AAA, I'm talking to Chris here. We're doing a vodcast today.
I do agree, Cheeks. He looks good. Sorry, I had to say
Thanks,
that
dude.
out loud.
Thanks. No, but I grew it out for like 2 years, and I played baseball during the summer. So what would happen is I wanted to keep it for the winter because it was cold, and then I'd get to the summer, and my buddy on the baseball team was like, "No, you got to rock the flow for baseball season." And so I'm like, "All right, I'm going to do it." And then it'd come around the next year, and finally it was just engagement pictures. I had to cut it, but for this, I cut it a couple times, my brother's wedding and things like that, and then we were having my son, so I wanted to get pictures taken when we had my son. So I got it cut the week before, and I haven't cut it since. Obviously, we're in a pandemic, but I'm just growing it out. So, how'd we get on? How'd we get on my hair? What happened there? Hat.
Yeah, your hat.
So the hat, right? And this was the key thing was like, hey, we hit the giveaway. I spin the wheel at the end of the month, and there it goes to somebody. But the cooler one that I like is if you have a 12-month streak, you automatically get one. It's not necessarily a break even for the person who's subscribing for every month, but it's a break even for me for the cost of the hat. But what's nice is if you have a Prime sub and you just throw it for 12 months in a row, you get essentially a free hat just for having Twitch Prime, right? And hitting a button.
Yeah.
The hard part is, and I did this to a couple of my friends, I won't keep telling you. Like, you have to remember to do it yourself if you want that hat. Like, I'll just forget 1 month, so you have to start your streak over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to hurt me to have you miss a month. But, like, I'm going to remind you as often as possible, and then I might just forget, you know? And you might have to remember so you get that hat.
Yep.
When you're banned from Black Hack, yeah, he's AAA is banned from your channel.
Doesn't
How much
shock
does hat cost, Caesar? So this hat is not for sale from unless you go buy it yourself and you just get the logo made or whatever. But I think they're about $30 per hat, kind of thing. And then you talk about shipping and things like that, depending. So just a little bit about the subscriptions and AAA's. Chris is actually one of the reasons because between you and him gifting subs, like he was having fun with it. He was like, "Hey, we're in creative. It's like if you can die in 5 seconds, like in the start of the round, if you can die within 5 seconds, I'll gift a sub." Luckily, I just ran out and jumped down, and I died within 5 seconds. $30. Okay. Yeah, it was like something around that. I bought 6 of them. I don't remember what it was with the shipping and everything like that. But originally they were like $75. It was insane.
Holy
crap. For one hat. I'm like, no thanks. So, that was a lot about what we're doing stream wise, and you asked about. I mean, you kind of touched on. I mean, you went into detail on like where you moved from and how you got to where you are.
So what about you? What about your who?
Well, I mean, I definitely went into, like, I'm in outside Philly. My parents are on the other side of the state. I have an older and younger brother. Small town, very, very small town outside of Pittsburgh. Closer to West Virginia, actually. So you hear any Pittsburgh twang or anything like that, or, if I respond with pop, like, I've definitely switched to soda because like I've said, soda because I moved to Philly and people give me a hard time when I say pop, but I went to college saying pop.
Yeah.
Same
way here.
I went to Penn State main campus, and I can't say enough about that decision. Like if we're talking like building character, how much for a shot glass worth of your piss? This is AAA. This is why you're
Yeah.
banned from Chris's
I
chat.
was about to say, now we know why he's
This is
banned.
why you're banned from Chris's chat.
And now we know why.
He's a good kid. He's funny.
I agree. Some
It
of my
just takes
banners are
it takes
funny.
a certain level of humor, you know. You can't pop in and do that right out of the bat with a lot of people, you know.
No.
But so I went to Penn State. And I can't say enough about that decision. Like I was fortunate enough to go to college. Right, I had the grades, and my parents did a good job of saving, and I was just mailing applications out. Okay, like anything, you know. I don't know how it was with you. If you got letters, but I know a lot of people, right? Senior year rolls around, senior year rolls around, you're a high school student, they just start flooding your inbox. Your in-state small schools, like they just show up, and they're like, "Hey, just sign this and send it back, and we'll tell you if you're in or not." Right? No
Yeah.
admission, or sorry, no application fee, no essay, no nothing. Literally, just fill out a form, send it in. And I honestly had no idea where I wanted to go. I was from PA, but I had no idea where I wanted to go. Turn off all your lights for the rest of the stream and gift a sub to Caesar. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I guess you would probably see it. It's literally just this light. There. Is that what you want for the rest of the stream? That's a. Oh no, I'm not turning off the llama. Screw that. He's looking too fresh in the back.
I love your llama though. I got a llama in the back.
Nice. So
Along with
what
like
was I?
5 pounds
I
of
was
rice.
yeah. The schools, right? They just came in the mail, so I didn't know where I wanted to go. I just started sending them in, send them in, send them in, send them in. I applied to Marietta in Ohio. You might know where Marietta in Ohio
I know
is.
exactly. Coolville is less than 30 minutes from Marietta.
So I visited Marietta. I got like a scholarship to go there. It was like called a Pioneer Scholarship to go to Marietta College.
Marietta is beautiful.
It's a beautiful campus. It's a D3 school, so I was trying to play baseball where I went, and that was going to be a possibility of going there and playing baseball. Spoke with like the baseball coach and whatnot. Played baseball since I was 5. Um, Picked up golf and basketball in high school and kind of continued on with both of those as well. But 5Ws, the acronym stands for, yeah, you got it. You got it already.
Oh,
I gotta tell you. So
Marietta is beautiful.
yeah, the other school, out of state school that I applied to, this was the only school that I applied to that paid, like I had to pay for the application. I think it was $60. Georgia Tech. They were a good engineering school. I knew I wanted to go for computer science, which is an engineering, and they were like one of the top ranked golf schools in the country. Where it was like, I kind of liked golf at that point. I wanted to go down there. Stop shaking the belly.
I can't help it.
So I'm like, what do I do? And so I didn't get in. That was the only school I paid for, and the only school I wrote an essay for, and it's the only school I didn't get into. I guess they wanted less money from all the in-state people. But so I had all these applications. I got accepted from everyone I sent to. It was funny. West Virginia, literally, they didn't even make me fill anything out. They looked at my transcript. I find it funny because WVU is like, that's what they talk about with WVU, just the type of school it is. I don't know if you've ever heard anything about WVU, but it was just like the party school and things like that. And like they just said, yeah, you're in, and this is how much we'll give you to like scholarship wise. I was like, oh wow. Sometimes I even amaze myself. Why are you laughing?
Because he got timed out, then I got timed out.
Oh my god. Nightbot's just on it in this chat.
I agree.
So it's definitely a blessing in disguise that I didn't get into Georgia Tech, because then my options really came down to, do I go to Marietta for baseball or I go to Penn State? And it's no lie, you saw Marietta's campus. You said it was decent.
It's gorgeous.
I went there and I looked around and I'm like, it was nice. It was very nice. I like.
I don't know
everything
anything
about
about it. I just know it's gorgeous.
It's a very good looking school. But then the fall, and I was so indecisive where to go. My older brother went to Penn State. I'm like, I went to a small town. I want to be away from everybody. I don't want to go to anybody I know. My older brother's up there. I went to Penn State to visit after visiting Marietta, like the next weekend or something like that. And I look and I'm just like, there. This is my comparison. No lie. This is, and you probably know from my personality at this point. Marietta, from when I went there to visit, had one gym. It had like 4 basketball hoops in that gym. When I went to Penn State, there were 3 gyms with like 4 or more basketball courts in every single one.
Yeah.
And basically, my decision was driven off of the activities I'd be able to do at Penn State. I was very
Oh no,
active. I
I
wanted,
see
like,
what
they
you're
had a
talking about.
golf course on campus.
Oh
Marietta's
wow.
was, I was a drive away, right? It had
Yeah.
2 golf courses on campus, not one, 2, like 2 18 holes
Wow.
on campus. And I had a membership my freshman, and I decided, and it was by far my, if you're going to college, think long and hard is that's my advice that I'm giving right now. Think long and hard about where you want to be afterwards. What do you want to do? What is that college? If you can afford it and you're set up and you have the grades to go to it, what is it going to give you after? Are you going to have a good time during? Probably in most places. You're going to make friends in those places, everything like that. No way TSM Myth is watching your stream, or is this? It's hilarious. He got he got he got he got he
Your
got
Nightbot, dude.
stopped as well.
Your Nightbot. He asked me if you should troll him. I was like, his Nightbot's gonna time you out, and look what
Yeah.
happened.
So it's like, what what do you do from there? And it was the best decision for me because I'm in PA. I don't really want to move from Pennsylvania, and the networking that comes out of that school was just tremendous. And like you meet people everywhere you go. That it's just a huge family kind of feeling. And I don't think I would have got that if I went to Marietta College, right? I would have had a good time at Marietta. I would play some baseball, met some close friends, but it wouldn't have been
It wouldn't have
anything.
been the same.
I probably wouldn't have the job I have now or the friends I have. Like it's a broader thing, and I was thankful for that. So the one piece of advice I would give is think it through, right? Especially for the young kids who come in. Like when you start getting to that age, kind of think it through. Do your best. But that's you know who I am. I am in computer science primarily because in high school, like my mom's math teacher. I was always good at math. I always joked that like whatever she already had in her brain, I was just kind of born with because math came easy. Like it was
Yeah.
just clear. You know, it's kind of like people who understand science and different things like that, like for physics or I understood, and physics is a lot of math, but I understood calculus, algebra, trigonometry, geometry, all of it, right?
Yep.
But I did not want to be a math teacher. I just didn't think the pay for teachers or the time for teachers was what I wanted to go. And my mom was like, "Don't be a teacher," kind of thing. So from math, what do you do? And it was like I found out in high school like there's computer science, and I went into developing, and that's what I do for a living now. I work for a finance company and I develop their website, um, and it's pretty cool stuff to learn, and it's keeps me close to computers, which is why I do a lot of this stuff. And Chris even knows I kind of mess around with some of the edits myself, and I'm like throw it toward him, and he's like, "That's good. Let me spice it up a bit," And
I
it always
and
comes
I
out great.
felt bad after I sent you the one because you did a really good job on it. I was just like, here's the more traditional style.
Which one?
Your subathon one.
Oh, I didn't even know if you. Oh, you sent me. Yeah, the Jacob one you sent me.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I understand, but it didn't fit with my layout. Okay, so let me
No,
be
and I
with my
get that.
posting.
And I should have known better. I really should have.
I didn't care. It's cool. It's cool to learn things, and that's what it's all about. Like my first YouTube video is because you kind of walked me through what I could do to edit it, and I'm
You
like,
did that all on your own. I literally just
you
told
walked
you
me
for
through
3 hours
some
to
stuff.
get that software, and you finally caved.
You walked
And
me through some
that
things.
software is so good. For anyone that doesn't know the software we're talking about, it's DaVinci Resolve, and it's an amazing free software. Hashtag not a sponsor. Should be though, as much as I promote it.
Yeah, my wife is like texting me. I guess he's not sleeping. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Hey, you take your time.
I don't know if
Or
he's
to
unsure
hashtag
or what.
not an ad.
So, is there anything that kind of brought you to where you're at now that you want people to learn from?
You know, I started this whole journey with a group, and I feel like that group has changed 5 times over. And all I can say is if you're gonna take it serious as a content creator, you have to respect your community, but you also have to be aware of who your friends are and don't let them involve themselves in your business of streaming
Mm.
or content creation. And I've crossed that line, many, many times, and I get burned almost every time. But like Caesar knows, I come to Caesar with honest stuff, because I know when I go to, when I go to Chase, I'm gonna get an answer, and I'm not gonna like that answer, but it's gonna be the truth, and it's gonna be his truth, unbiased opinion every single fucking time. It doesn't matter what it is. I could tell him I'm having anything from relationship issues all the way to issues with my stream, and he's gonna be like, "Well, I don't give a shit what your problem is, but here's what I think just from what you've told me." And it's like when you have someone in your life like that, that's hard, and I think that brought me to where I am today is having a relationship with just anyone like that. And it's not just Chase. I have a support system behind me that's strong. I got my wife, I got Chase, I got Scooter, I got Dylan, all these real people that I know and that I can count on. And if you don't have that support system, you will fail horrifically. And I owe that support, all my dedication and like everything to that support group. And my community is one of those support groups. Everyone that's in chat, everyone that's on my TikTok, everyone that's on my Instagram, everywhere.
Kids Corner is starting.
You know.
Kids Corner is starting.
Oh, Miranda.
Kids Corner.
He is not TOS friendly.
Thought he's in a diaper. Is he not in a diaper?
He is.
He's coming the other way.
I can't spin. I can't spin. I don't know.
So actually, I think that's probably good timing. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, that's funny. I think that's probably good timing because it's a sign that I need to go help my wife as well. As I said, he's not sleeping. My son's not sleeping. Um, so maybe it's a good time to kind of. This was a good start, I think. We'll see what kind of buy-in we get to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the Discord to the sign
What's the
up
blur? Yeah, I'm okay. So, how can people see that sign up?
by going to Dad Club Gaming and then um, doing exclamation point sign up, all one word, sign up, SIGNUP. It'll be a Discord link. So if you want to type it in the chat, um, let me just turn the permissions off, right?
Do you plug his stream again, Order? I know you're not a mod, but it's fine. There we go. I got you in mine. That's your Discord, I think.
Send messages and view channel is what I'm doing. View message history.
Thank you, Ortha.
Just gonna save it like that. They should be able to now see the sign up channel.
Trying to open it myself. Oh, I see it. Look at that.
Can you see
Sign
it?
up. Yeah.
You should be able to see it before though, because you were
Yeah.
listed as a co-host. So people can go ahead and sign up for it. Join the Discord. I can see it. So Orza can see it. So you can join that Discord, and if you want to be a guest, if you're not ready to be the next guest, wait. But if you want to just get your name in there and then say, hey, I don't want to be first, but I want to be the next or something like that, or whatever week works for you. We can. Orza's already putting it in there. It looks like typing in the channel.
Kenny should get in on that.
But I think the requirements will be to have a camera. So this is a vodcast. We want to be able to talk
Yep.
to you. But you don't necessarily have to show your face. So if you want to wear a mask because you don't want to show your face, wear a mask. You know, whatever kind of things you want it to be. He wants to be the very, 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 very last guest.
To end the year.
That's funny.
It's a long commitment, bub.
Yeah, you got to stick around for all of them. But so I think this, like I said, I think this went well. We're just under an hour and 45 minutes, which I'm more than thankful for. I don't think we touched on everything that Chris and I have in our life, right? But I think
many more episodes to come.
I think what would end up happening is it will just naturally come out as guests bring things. So rather than continue, Chris's son came in the room, right? My son, like I said, my wife's texting me and she needs a hand because he's not sleeping, so I'm going to try to help her out. And that's part of being a dad, right? That's what's going on. That's what some of this is going to happen. So the thing I want to touch on, my wife's suggestion was to have a rule to end every episode. And let that just kind of organically happen. Either have the guest answer a question or have it come out of like what the discussion was. And I would say, Chris, you alluded to it earlier, and I think the rule that we'll leave it on is don't set limits, set goals. So
that's it.
I wanted to see that reaction on your face. That's why I didn't tell you what I was gonna say, but as soon as you said it, I loved it. The rule for this episode is going to be, don't set limits, set goals, and strive to meet them.
That's it.
Thanks for those who hung out for even a little bit of this. I know, Chris, you have a decent amount still in your channel, I'm sure.
19.
So it's down a little bit. So we'll see if you want to continue doing this or not.
Definitely.
I'm just kidding.
When I changed graphic things, I lost a lot. But
you always do,
worried.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hopefully gonna keep going. I want to do this every week. Like I said, I'll try to post this tomorrow evening, so it's up on YouTube on Monday, and that's about it. I mean, I think Chris and I will probably tweak some things. I'll listen to how we both sound and see if we need to tweak like my voice settings. I'm sure his are perfect. But I might tweak some of the screen scenes and things like that. Chris has given suggestions about moving the chat window and things like that. So we'll see if we want to do some of that. Or Chris, I honestly think it'd be funny to do like a sitcom type intro where it's like the host and it like flashes. Yeah, exactly. And then the name flashes under it with like an ad. Yeah, exactly. You got it. Like I think
it does the big old like zoom in effect, and you're like.
Yep. Yeah, you got
it. The fucking classic Will and Grace.
So I'm gonna watch back a video and then post it, and we'll go from there. So, hey, I appreciate you doing this with me.
I'm having fun,
and I'm gonna see what 52 weeks can bring.
This right here is my downtime.
I mean, dude, it is. But you're still, you're still streaming and things like that. So, it's hopefully cool to have these conversations. And like I said, we only jumped into one little thing, little lesson from each one of us, a little bit about who we are and what this is going to be. But just don't set limits, set goals. And with that, I think we're going to wrap.
I love it.
Now, Chris, watch my exit.
Mm-hmm.